What if the Philippines says yes to China? Imagine, in a stunning move, the Philippines accepts China's offer. The world holds its breath. This isn't just a headline, it's a geopolitical earthquake. For decades, the Philippines has been a US ally, but now stands at a crossroads that could reshape Asia. Beijing's promises of wealth and security are tempting, but the risks are enormous. This is more than one nation's choice. It's about shifting allegiances in a world where the old rules are fading. Today we'll break down what a Philippine pivot to China would look like, and the ripple effects across the region. What would happen to the economy, alliances, and the very fabric of Southeast Asia? Let's dive in. First, the economic offer. It's a deal too tempting to ignore. Promises of rapid growth, new jobs, and a future that seems brighter than ever before. China arrives with billions for infrastructure, airports, railways, ports, telecoms. The Philippine economy booms, and the skyline transforms almost overnight as new projects spring up across the country. Jobs surge, prosperity rises, and the government touts visible progress. Families see new opportunities, and hope fills the air as communities are revitalized. China delivers where the West only promised, but nothing comes free. Behind the celebrations, questions begin to surface about the true cost of this partnership. These projects are financed by Chinese loans, creating a mountain of debt. Each new ribbon cut is another obligation added to the nation's balance sheet. We've seen this before. Countries like Sri Lanka lost control of key assets when they couldn't repay. The warning signs are clear, but often ignored in the rush for progress. The US would retaliate, sanctions, revoke trade deals, and economic pressure. Old alliances are tested, and the Philippines finds itself caught between rival powers. ASEAN unity fractures as nations pick sides, and local resentment grows as Chinese companies dominate. Tensions simmer, both regionally and at home. Filipino businesses struggle, and the initial euphoria fades as economic sovereignty slips away. The promise of prosperity is shadowed by growing unease. The Philippines becomes richer, but less in control, trapped in a gilded cage of dependence. The nation's future is now tied to decisions made far beyond its borders. The Faustian bargain. Prosperity now, autonomy lost later. The question remains, is the price of progress worth the loss of freedom? Now, imagine China's offer isn't just economic, but military, a sweeping defense pact, the latest advanced hardware, and unrestricted access to key Philippine bases. The promise is security, but the price is independence. The US-Philippines alliance, once a cornerstone of regional stability, collapses almost overnight. The Mutual Defense Treaty, once ironclad, is now just a piece of paper, its guarantees rendered meaningless. Chinese warships now dock at Subic Bay, and fighter jets land at Clark Air Base. For the first time, China projects its military power deep into the Pacific, shifting the balance of power in the region. The South China Sea, once hotly contested, becomes a Chinese stronghold. New bases and patrols cement Beijing's dominance, and rival claimants are pushed to the margins. Domestic protests erupt across the Philippines. The military, long tied to the US, finds itself divided and uncertain. Political instability and chaos follow, threatening the nation's fragile democracy. US allies like Japan and Taiwan feel exposed and vulnerable, triggering a regional arms race. Defense budgets soar as nations scramble to counter China's growing influence. China enforces its maritime claims with impunity. Filipino fishermen, once free to work their own waters, are harassed and pushed out, losing their livelihoods and their sense of security. The Philippines trades one security guarantor for another, but this time, it's on China's terms. The cost of protection is sovereignty, and the rules are no longer written in Manila. The alliance with the US was built on decades of shared history and values. With China, it's a relationship defined by pure power politics and shifting interests. In this new reality, the Philippines risks becoming a pawn in Beijing's grand strategy. Its future, shaped not by its own people, but by the ambitions of a rising superpower. Or, China offers a political alliance, a new Asian bloc with the Philippines as a founding member. This alliance promises economic benefits, military support, and a shared vision for the future of Asia. Manila turns its back on the West, voting with China at the UN, echoing Beijing's positions. This marks a significant shift in global politics, As the Philippines aligns itself more closely with Chinese interests, Western partners scramble to win back the Philippines, but the shift is decisive. The West's influence wanes as China's power grows, creating a new balance of power in the region. For China, it's a propaganda coup. A former US ally joins its orbit, signaling a new era. This move is celebrated in China as a major victory in its quest for regional dominance. The bloc builds rival institutions, banks, courts, media, to challenge the West. These new institutions aim to provide alternatives to Western-dominated systems, further solidifying the bloc's influence. ASEAN's unity shatters, replaced by a China-led hierarchy. The once cohesive group now finds itself divided, with member states forced to navigate a new geopolitical landscape. Indonesia and Malaysia are caught in the middle, forced to choose sides. Their decisions will have lasting impacts on their own national policies and regional stability. The Philippines gains prestige, but its voice is expected to echo China's. This newfound status comes with strings attached, as the Philippines must now align its policies with Beijing. Democracy and rule of law are sidelined for power and influence. The shift towards authoritarianism raises concerns about the future of democratic governance in the region. The new Asian order is born, with Beijing at the top. This marks the beginning of a new chapter in Asian geopolitics, with China firmly in the lead. Step back. What's the big picture if the Philippines says yes to China? It's not just one domino, it's the keystone. The region is forced into a binary choice. ASEAN's dream of neutrality dies. Southeast Asia becomes the main stage for US-China rivalry. US credibility in the Indo-Pacific collapses. Allies question American security guarantees. China becomes the regional hegemon, projecting power across the South China Sea. The rules-based order crumbles as might makes right. The world shifts from alliances and norms to transactional, power-based relationships. The Philippines' choice accelerates a global realignment. The middle ground for diplomacy shrinks. The world divides into rival camps. One nation's decision triggers a seismic global shift. A Philippines aligned with China creates a fundamentally different world. Economic prosperity comes with debt. Military pacts redraw Asia's map. Political alliances undermine global norms. The stakes are real, not just for the Philippines, but for everyone. Each path brings consequences that will echo for generations. This scenario shows how fragile the global balance is, and how one nation's choice can reshape the world. The story of the Philippines at this crossroads is the story of our time. Which path would have the biggest impact? Let us know in the comments, and subscribe for more global analysis.